Speaking lesson 2, we will talk about relationship. All types of relationship, not just boy-girl relationship. Okay, I will let you spend some time to go through the reading. If you have some new words, try to guess what it means. Have you finished reading?
Yes.
Others? Okay. Hiền, can you help me to read from here to here?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Can you help me to read out loud?
By English?
Yes, of course.
Link between only friendships with high-quality sibling relationships. Children who experience a rewarding friendship before the birth of a sibling are likely to have a better relationship with that brother or sister that endures throughout their childhood. When early friendships are successful, young children get the chance to master sophisticated social and emotional skills, even more than they do with a parent. When parents relate to a child, they do a lot of work figuring out what the child needs and then accommodating those needs. However, this is not usually the case when two children are interacting.
Okay. Are there any new words here, everyone? Endures. Endures, it means last.
Figuring out.
Figure out. To try to know something.
Cái recording friendship là tình bạn, một cái tình bạn đáng tốt đẹp.
Yes, it's like a good friendship. A good friendship. Rewarding, it means that it has a positive result.
Positive, yeah.
Positive results.
Sophisticated, social.
Sophisticated, it means complicated. Cái từ complicated nó nghĩa là phức tạp, còn cái từ sophisticated nó cũng có nghĩa là phức tạp nhưng mà nó có nghĩa là tinh tế nhiều hơn.
Cái cụm mà this is not usually the case là để không thường xuyên có trường hợp, nó dịch sao cho nó xuôi ra luôn, đấy không phải là cái trường hợp.
Cái đó sẽ dịch là tuy nhiên thì nó không có đúng với khi mà hai đứa trẻ đang tương tác với nhau. Nó không có đúng. This is not the case here. For example, he's good at cooking, but this is not the case for her. It means that she's not good at cooking. With phrases like this, we should learn to use that when we speak because you cannot translate from Vietnamese to English with phrases like this. Because when you translate to Vietnamese, it doesn't mean the same. So when we think about the meaning of the words, try to translate it from English to English. Connect it with your already have English vocabulary. You can see the way that they use some words, maybe you already know, but the way they use is different. For example, accommodating those needs. You already know the accommodation. It means the place we live in, right? Yeah. But here, the word accommodating, it means that you meet those needs. It means that give the needs a house. It means that you meet the needs, accommodating the needs. Okay. Again, we see the phrase to be likely to do something. Have tendency to do something. Get chance to master. Here is the very good verb also. Master. This is a verb. It means that to be very good at something.
Okay.
To master something. Mean very good at something. For example, in order to master speaking English, a person needs to learn English for example, 100 hours. Even more than they do in HR. Okay. Ms. Gum, can you help me to read the last paragraph?
Studies show that the benefits of early friends are long-lasting. Children who have a positive rapport with a best friend before.
And this is pronounced rapport.
Rapport.
Yes. And this one is long-lasting.
Long-lasting. With a best friend before the birth of a sibling, ultimately had a good relationship with their sibling that lasted throughout adolescence, and children who as preschoolers were able to coordinate, play with a friend, manage conflicts, and keep an interaction positive in turn were mostly likely as teenagers to avoid negative sibling interaction. Thus, can sometimes allow children on a path of antisocial behavior. From birth, parents can nurture and help develop these social competency by making eye contact with their babies, offering toys and playing with them.
Okay. Any new words here?
Rapport.
Rapport. Nó không phải là rapport à? Rapport. This one is equal to relationship. Rapport, relationship. The word ultimately, it means eventually. Yeah, or event or finally, yes. What does it mean preschooler?
Kiểu như nó mò chầm rồi đó, những cái lớp chồi mầm lá gì phải không cô, kiểu
Yes. It means that the children who were before they went to the grade 1, it means they were in the kindergarten.
Yeah.
Kindergarten children. Coordinate, play with friends, manage conflicts, keep interaction positive, likely as teenager to avoid launch children on launch children on a path of antisocial behavior. What does it mean, antisocial behavior?
Okay. Activity that cư xử chứ chống lại xã hội nổi loạn đó.
Not really nổi loạn ạ. Nó là kiểu những cái hành vi nó hơi kỳ quặc, nó hơi kiểu như không có được hòa đồng. thì nó là antisocial behavior. Nó ngược lại với từ social behavior. Một người sociable là một người rất là hòa đồng với mọi người, có thể nói chuyện tất cả mọi người. Còn antisocial, some people who are very shy, who cannot talk to anyone, who have problem communicating with other people. That's antisocial behavior. The next one, we have the word social competencies. Okay. Khi mà mình dịch cái từ khả năng, mình hay dịch là ability hay là capacity. Thì ở đây mình giới thiệu thêm một cái từ này, nó hay dùng hơn là từ competencies. Social competencies, tức là những cái năng lực về mặt xã hội. For example, communication, or maybe emotional intelligence, social competency or social skills. Making eye contact. Okay. Has everybody noted down the new words?
Nurture là cái gì?
Nurture.
Nurture or nurture.
Nurture, it means that give room for something to develop. Chăm bón, hỗ trợ, like support. Like when someone nurtures something, it means that they give room for something to develop. Like when you nurture a baby or nurture a plant.
Nurture.
Now let's move on to the part 1 questions. The first one, do you have siblings? And they say people usually complain about sibling rivalry, but I believe we have many things in common. Sibling rivalry is a collocation. It means that the indifference between siblings. Sometimes siblings don't hang out very well together. Like me and my brother, he never listened to what I say, and he argue every single thing that I tell him just because he's my brother. So sibling rivalry is like sometimes siblings cannot talk together. Rivalry, sibling rivalry.
Rivalry.
Yes. Down here we have the word I was fortunate enough. It means I was lucky to have a stable upbringing. It means that you have a stable childhood. Like generally a happy childhood. I had a striking resemblance. It means that same appearance to my father or mother. striking resemblance. Obedient, một đứa trẻ nghe lời, always listen to father and mother. And hyperactive, it means that tăng động. No-brainer questions. A no-brainer questions is a very easy question that doesn't need to think to answer. For example, do you love your mom? Oh yes, that's a no-brainer question. Of course, everyone loves their mom. Anyone know what does it mean, extended family?
Family with except my brother, my mother, my father, and my sibling. There are some relatives, such as cousin, or aunt, grandmother, grandfather, live with together.
Yes, exactly. That's extended family. Family that includes relatives, cousins, grandparents.
Cô cái người mà chị kế mình á, nói là sao? Cái người tại ví dụ nhà mình có người anh em mà cái chị kế bên mình.
You mean your sister?
Sister, nhưng mà có nhiều sister, nhưng mà cái sister gần tuổi nhất của mình.
Oh, my next, no, I don't know. Next big sister? A close big sister?
Dạ.
Maybe? I'm not really sure. You can say my nearest big sister.
My nearest.
Nearest. Near, gần
nhất đúng không?
Yes. Nearest big sister.
Nearest sister hả cô?
Nearest big sister.
Big là lớn hả cô?
Yes. Chị mà. Còn nếu là em thì là nearest little sister.
Vậy chứ không phải hồi xưa em tưởng đâu là younger sister.
Younger sister cũng được ạ. Younger sister cũng được, older sister cũng được. Okay, now let's try some questions. Have you got all the new words noted down? Very good. Yes. Hiền, do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have two. My younger sister and my older brother.
Can you extend more your answers? Okay, with the answer in part 1, you got to answer at least 3 sentences and try to make it longer. Not just for information only. It's the way to show off your language.
So I have to continue my answer.
Yes, maybe make it a little bit longer and more informative.
I stay close with my sister because my parents divorced, and I can only stay with my sister, and my brother stay with my mom.
Oh, okay. That was very informative. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Nga, how about you?
I have only little sister, and she less 10 years old than me. So we have a huge gap. So I don't think we have a sibling rivalry, because sometimes I make group of mother to take care of her.
Okay. So she is 10 years younger than me.
She 10 years younger than me.
Oh, that's a big gap. That's the same gap between me and my little brother, because we do have sibling rivalry. Okay. And Minscum, who's your closest family member?
Well, I never think about that because I'm nearly close with everyone in my family. But if I have to choose one of them, I think I'm closest with my nearest sister because she and me gần tuổi nhau là gần tuổi
together.
She only older than me 2 years. So
2 years older. 2
years
years
older. So she and I have many things in common. We can share everything with each other.
Okay, you have many things in common with your nearest big sister?
Yes.
What are they?
She says she and me also like traveling, especially traveling to remote area and remote area and like fast food, and also sometimes we can choose we have same thời trang là gì? Fashion trend.
Fashion taste.
Yeah.
Taste. Yes. Ms. Thảo.
Yes.
Can you tell me more about your upbringing?
Upbringing?
Yes.
What
upbringing means childhood, right here.
Yes, I had a happy childhood with my family. There are 7 members in my family. I have 4 siblings. 2 include 2 sisters and youngest brother and me. And we are usually close together. And now we often organize events in my in my parents' house at the weekends, and now we are always happy together.
Your family seems like to be a very close-knit family.
Yes.
Oh, I see. That's very fortunate of you.
Yes, because my sibling live near together, and all of member in my family went married, live near my parents' house. So at the weekend we often go to my parents' house to organize an event.
To throw a party.
Yes.
Throw a party. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's very nice. Nga, do you get on well with your relatives?
On well with your relatives?
Yes.
Of course, yes. Although my family not a big extended family, but I also have many siblings and cousins and
cousins,
and I think I have a good relationship with them. We usually hang out and share the feelings and the common story.
What is a common story?
The daily story.
Okay. Who are you closest to in your extended family?
I think it's a cousin là chị họ đúng không ạ?
Yes, cousins. Anh họ, chị họ, em họ, tất cả đều là cousins hết.
My closest is my cousin, who is the daughter of my uncle.
Mm-hmm.
We are a same age, so we have many things in common.
Ah, I see. Very good. Very good. Okay, so I let you spend some time to look at all 4 questions, and we will practice a little bit more together. Okay, now Hiền and Menscom will talk together and practice the 4 questions. There are only 2 of you in this room, so you can talk freely together. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
For question in the page you show.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. To practice.
Hello.
Hello,
Teacher.
Yes. So I break 4 of you into 2 different rooms, so you have more space to talk. Okay. Minh Thảo and Nga will practice those 4 questions together, and I will go through. There are 2 rooms, so I will go back and forth. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So besides those 4 questions, feel free to talk about other things in your family, like feel free speaking section.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Please start. One answer, one ask and one answer.
Sis, where do you live?
Yes, I live in Vĩnh Phúc province. It's near the Hanoi city. And have you ever gone to Hanoi city?
Do you live with your family in Vĩnh Phúc? Your extended family?
My nuclear family live in Vĩnh Phúc, and all of member in my extended family near here.
Yes.
Chị vừa hỏi em câu trước không thấy em trả lời.
Em không biết. Chị đọc lại.
Have you ever gone to Hanoi city?
Yes, I go to Hanoi city many times.
Yeah.
My father hometown is Nam Định. It's very near Hanoi.
Yes.
And I.
Is it still going on?
Em đang gấp cái câu hỏi cho Hiền, tại vì Hiền không nhớ câu hỏi.
I don't know.
You don't know what?
I don't know the question on the drive you sent me.
Do you see the screen now?
Yes. So I can take.
Okay, nói luôn đi Hiền.
Okay. Besides those 4 questions, you can spend some time to get to know with each other by asking some other questions. Think about it like a speaking free section.
Hôm nay thực tập muốn nói ý mình chứ không phải nói lại cái đoạn này phải không cô?
Yes. But try to use the new words that we have learned.
Oh. So hi, can I ask you first? And
you first.
Okay. Do you have siblings?
Yes. There are 10 members in my family. Include my parents and 8 siblings. And
that's a lot.
Yeah, and I am a youngest. I am youngest member.
Yeah.
How about you, he?
So I have two siblings. They are my younger sister and my older sister, my older brother. And I stay with my younger sister, and I feel close with her than my brother.
Oh, so there are five people. Five people in your family.
Yes,
People, yeah.
my family have 5 members.
Yeah.
Members.
Are there any problem relating to sibling rivalry in your family?
Yes. For my sister, I feel close with her, and I don't have any sibling rivalry with her. But for my brother, I only fight with him.
Yeah. I remember that when I was a child, I and my middle sister always uh, ago
Argue
each other,
with each other.
with each other. But when I released my family to live a place far from home to study, and I'm really miss her a lot, miss her a lot. So I and her and she and I have many things in common. Yeah. And can you tell me more about your upbringing?
So I was lucky because I have a stable upbringing. I stay in extended family when I was younger, and so I have good rapport with rapport with two cousins.
Cousins.
And we were really hyperactive child.
Okay. We have a new member in this room. This is Chang. Chang, can you hear us?
Hi, Chang.
Yeah.
Okay, Chang. We are in a free speaking section. So 3 of you will practice together to answer those 4 questions. So you can take turn to ask and then answer questions.
Okay.
Yes, since you get in here later, so maybe you can listen to them a little bit and then you can join later.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Hello, Trang.
So when Miss Win is Cẩm.
My name is Cẩm. Yeah, my name is Cẩm.
Can I ask how old are you?
Yeah. Là mới nói về đoạn vừa này mới nói về upbringing. Vậy em hỏi chị đi, chị hỏi em.
Can you tell me about your upbringing?
Upbringing, speaking to upbringing.
I can help you with her. And now my relationship with her is still very close, although she lives far away from me.
Where do she live?
She lives in the next city.
Where does she live?
She lives in the next city. I just told you. We always chat together by Zalo video every evening. But about her language, she is good at in English in Japan and Korea.
Oh, really?
But I think I have learned about her a lot because I don't tức là mình không có khả năng. I am not able to about language. Tức là không có khả năng ngôn ngữ bằng cô ấy.
I'm not very good at.
Yes, I'm not very good at language.
Like her. Like her.
Like her, yes.
So your sister can speak English, Japanese, and Korean?
Yes.
What kind of job is she doing?
She has her own company with her husband. She own company, the company about fashion.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yes.
So did you two finish all the question?
What?
Did you two finish all the question?
Yes.
Yes.
And did you ask other questions about each other?
Yes. We asked some other question about around daily life, daily relationship in my family.
Okay, so maybe Chang can move here. Hello, Chang.
Hello. Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
You are in a new room now. Because this room has finished, so you can join here.
Okay.
Yes. So one person will ask Chang, and Chang will answer back.
I will first.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Who would you like to talk to?
Nghe. Hi. This is the first time. Do you have any sibling?
Do you have any? Can you
Siblings.
Siblings. I have a little sister.
Oh. Yeah.
And she's 10 years younger than me. So when I was 30 years old, she was a teenager. So I think, oh, I'm very old. I'm very surprised because I'm very older than her.
So cute. Do you have any question with me?
Where are you from?
I'm from An Giang. It is a small province in the south of Ho Chi Minh City. It's a small province.
And do you live with your family or you live independent days to study?
I'm living with my family in An Giang University and I'm staying here 20 years old. An Giang is a peaceful land show in when I work Thai until that now. I have a perfect life with my family, with my friend, with lots of friendly neighbor. Yeah.
Okay, so you say, I have been living here for 20 years.
Yeah, I have
20 years old.
I have lived in here.
I have been living here.
Okay, I have lived here
for 20 years.
For 20 years.
Very good.
Do you have any siblings?
No, I am one twice.
I am what?
Muốn nói là câu 1 đó cô.
I am the only child.
Only child.
Yes, I am the only child.
I
Đứa trẻ
am.
duy nhất ấy.
Yeah. I am only child. I am the only child.
I am the only child.
The only child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thêm nữa đi em.
I am the only child in the family, and so I have. I think it's the lucky for me because I don't like children, and and I have a happy childhood with my father, my mother, but when I was child, I have a strict religious upbringing. Yeah, because my father is a lecturer, so he very difficult with me.
Okay,
yeah, that's
good.
all.
So you said your father was a lecturer?
Yeah, in Indian University.
He was a lecturer.
Lecturer, yeah.
And you have a difficult religious upbringing?
Yeah.
So you're Catholic or Christian? Religious có nghĩa là tôn giáo.
Dạ.
Vậy em thì
mình không ví dụ như là đi đứng ăn nói thì mình không có thể nói là religious hả cô?
No, religious nghĩa là mang tính tôn giáo.
Oh.
So you can just say a difficult upbringing.
Difficult upbringing.
Okay, continue.
Yeah.
Nga hỏi rồi Trang trả lời ạ.
Do you get on well with your relative?
Nếu nó có từ này nhưng mà chỉ với anh tả không? Có từ đó. Do you get on well with your relative?
Yes, because when I was younger, I stay in extended family, so I have two cousins, and we are the same age, so I feel stay close with them, and another reason because we have the same favorite clothes and same favorite games like that.
Like you mean you have the same fashion taste?
Yes.
Okay. So you used to stay in an extended family with your grandparents?
When I was young.
You didn't live with your parents, but with your grandparents?
So I can hear.
Oh, I was asking, you didn't live with your parents, but with your grandparents?
No. I just stay with my sister and her husband.
Your sister?
Yeah.
But you said you have a little sister.
No, a little brother, but not a little sister.
And a big sister. And she's married?
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Yes, please continue.
So, do you marry?
No, I'm single. And now are you living with your family or living alone?
I stay with my sister, my big sister.
My big sister. Oh, do you often to get reunion family?
Family reunion.
Family reunion.
I often visit my grandmother once a week.
1 week? Yeah.
On maybe on Sunday if my schedule is not busy.
What do you do when you get family together?
Yeah, I can. Sorry, can you repeat?
What do you do? What do you do when you get reunion family? Family reunion.
We often cook dinner and eat together, and I can talk with my grandmother, and just that, just doing that. So, how about you? Do you stay alone?
Now I am living with my roommate. Yeah, I am live far from my family when I was 14. Wait, 18. So when I just come back to my family when I have long vacation, success, just holiday, event, summer day.
Okay. Khi mà chúng ta nói về một sự kiện ở trong quá khứ mà nó có ảnh hưởng đến hiện tại thì cố gắng sử dụng hiện tại hoàn thành. Ví dụ như là lúc đấy bạn Cẩm có nói là tôi đã sống xa gia đình từ năm 14 tuổi. Từ đó là since. Thì chúng ta sẽ nói là I have lived far away from home since I was 18 years old. Cứ khi nào mình nói về một cái gì đó mà từ mốc thời gian nào đó hoặc là trong bao lâu á, ví dụ như là tôi đã sống ở Hồ Chí Minh trong 2 năm. I have lived in Hồ Chí Minh for 2 years. Khi đó chúng ta hãy dùng hiện tại hoàn thành. Rồi, okay. We should come back to the main class. Hello back, everyone.
Hello, come back here.
How is the free speaking section? Do you have more time to talk?
We have a lot of questions together, and many questions about want to ask each other.
Yes, you can save some questions for discovery in the later lessons.
Yeah.
Okay, we move on to part 2. Describe a person that has a profound influence on you. A profound influence, it means that a big influence. Okay, so here's some suggestions that you can use in your part 2. In the part 2, the examiner will give you like a cue card like this. And then you will have 1 minute to think and note down. Actually, 1 minute is not very long. So you got to have the ability to think on your feet. Think on your feet, it means that you think by yourself. And then you will speak from 1 to 2 minutes about the topic. After 2 minutes, the examiner might interrupt you or stop you. It's okay, because time is up. Okay. Here are some suggestions. Usually the part 2, it will start with go straight into the answer. For example, you like to talk about your mother and you say, I'd like to talk about my mother who has a huge influence on my life. I would not be the person I'm today if it hadn't been for her encouragement. Tôi không thể là con người ngày nay nếu như không có sự hỗ trợ của cô ấy, của bà ấy. Well, his closest family member and friend, and then you explain something. She usually, you can say the word lend me an ear. Lend me an ear means listen. She usually lend me an ear or patiently. Kiên nhẫn, listen to my stories whenever I am in trouble or need an advice, right? Because she's much more experienced than me, so she understands what I'm going through. And she always stand by my side, đứng bên cạnh tôi, and help me go through thick and thin. Thick and thin means like an idiom. It's like help me go through all troubles, happiness and troubles in life. For example, she was with me when I got my heart broken for the first time. She was with me when I got my first boyfriend. She was with me when I graduated from university, with me when I got married and things like that. And then you can tell about how your mother helped you go through troubles and happiness. I'm forever grateful for her. It means that biết ơn. Without him or her, I would be gì đó. Okay, I give you some time to brainstorm what you want to talk about. You can describe other members as well. Your father, your sibling, maybe a teacher. I know, a family member. It must be a family member. A cousin, grandparent. Ms. Hong, can you go first, please?
Giây nữa nha cô.
Okay. Hiền, how about you?
I just look up my vocabulary.
It's okay. It's okay.
I would like to talk about my mom, and she has a huge influence on my life, and I would be the person I am today without her. She also the closest family member in my family. Because she tried to do many things to nurture me and give me whatever I want to study. And she also give me some advice to overcome my difficult. And she teach me that I have to forgive. Phải biết bỏ qua những cái gì mà không sao ta?
It teach me to forget, get over.
She teach me get over. and I'm forever grateful for her contribution in my life.
Okay. Do you have a moment or a time that you feel connected with your mother, like a story?
Yes, I have some moment that I can talk with my father, and I feel some little upset about him, and we haven't talked for a long time, and my father told that I should forgive him, and I know my mother also feel upset like me, but she also she always forgive, and like I feel, ý là cái khoảnh khắc đó mình cảm thấy là gần gũi, ấn tượng nhất.
That moment I felt really close to her. I felt really admire her.
Yes.
Okay, so based on your answers, I will speak it in a different way. So to show you how to speak in part 2, for example, with your story. I'd like to talk about my mother who. Chúng ta luôn luôn cái câu đầu tiên của part 2 lúc nào chúng ta cũng dùng who để kết nối với cả cái đằng trước. Ví dụ, describe a family that has a profound influence on you. Tôi sẽ nói là I would like to talk about my mother who has a profound influence hoặc là a big influence on me. Nó sẽ tạo thành một câu phức ở ngay đầu tiên. So, I'd like to talk about my mother who has a huge influence on my life, and I would not be the person I am today if it hadn't been for her encouragement. She is my closest family member and friend. Bây giờ mình sẽ diễn giải tại sao lại là family member and friend. She always tried to do everything she can to nurture me and accommodate my needs. Especially now I'm just a student and have not yet earned money for myself. So she tried her best to support me financially, okay, to provide tuition fee for me to finish university. Cái thứ nhất. The second thing is she's a very good listener. Whenever I'm in trouble or unhappy or upset with something, she's willing to lend me an ear and patiently listen to my troubles, help me to overcome my difficulties. Rồi xong bắt đầu ý thứ hai này thì mình có thể kể thêm một cái ví dụ. I remembered a few years ago, I had a trouble talking to my father and I was really upset with him. When you talk about the past, remember to change the verb into past tense. I was really upset with him and I turned to my mother for advice. And at that point, I knew that she was also really upset with him, but she told me to forgive him. And at that moment, I realized that I really admired her. So you tell a story. And then the next point. And she always stands by my side and helps me go through thick and thin. For example, when I was, maybe you can tell a story about when you try to get into university and I had to go through many nights staying up late for studying and she was always there with me. And then you ended with, I'm forever grateful for her. Without her, I wouldn't be so successful and happy as I am today. So with part 2, you make some bullet point. Point 1, point 2, and point 3. And then with each point, maybe you will selectively add an example. We talk about something in the past. 2 minutes of speaking is pretty quick. Okay, now you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Start.
Yeah.
I would like to talk about my mother, who has had a huge influence on my life, and she not only my family members, she also my friends, because we have many things in common, such as traveling or hanging out to eat at restaurant, or taking photos. And she is the person who always support my decision, although my decision sometimes is wrong. When I was prepared to take an exam on take a high school entrance exam, I decide I will study literature, but my dad is object to my decision, because he think that literature cannot bring to me a good opportunity jobs in future. So she objects strongly, but my mother still support and make room for me sign up for my favorite subjects, and I really feel admired. I really admire with her supportion.
You mean appreciate?
Yes, I'm appreciate my mother's support.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I think I cannot persuade my favorite if
I cannot pursue
my favorite things if I don't have my wonderful mothers. Yes.
Oh, yes, she sounds wonderful indeed. Thank you very much. And remember, when you talk about the past, change the verb into the past tense. I remember when I tried to get into high school, when I had my high school entrance exam, I decided to choose literature as my major. My father was strongly object to that, but my mother was a strong supporter for my decision. I really appreciated her for that encouragement. Mm-hmm. Okay, Ms. Cẩm, are you ready?
I would like to talk about my older sister who has had a huge influence on my life. My sister is 8 year older than me. So other family, there are some problem with concerning sibling sibling rivalry. Yeah, between our so um, um, so but she and I have many things in common, such as food taste and habits. The reason why I want to talk about her, because I very admire her. When I was a child, and she is just she she graduate, tốt nghiệp cấp 3 là graduate đúng không?
She graduated.
Graduated.
She has already graduated.
She has graduated.
Tức là khi mà tôi còn nhỏ thì cô ấy đã tốt nghiệp cấp 3 rồi đúng không ạ?
Dạ đúng rồi.
When I was a child, she has already graduated. Has already graduated.
Has already graduated. Because her ability is not very high. So she became a worker for 5 years. After that, she wanted to change her life, and she tried to learn to study again, and she studied herself, and he to become a teacher now. So when I have a problem in my life, I always think about something that her overcome, and I can consider her as my role model for me to follow. Besides that, she also support me anything, and she only lend me an ear when I need. Yeah.
Finish?
Finish.
Okay. She used a good word, which is role model. Role model is someone that you admire and you want to follow him or her. Yes, you seem to have a very good sister. And is it your nearest big sister?
Yes, nearest.
And she's 8 years older than you.
Coi là có 2 tuổi thôi, mà lúc nãy là em tính nói người khác, xong rồi em chỉ anh ấy chị khác. 2 tuổi rồi.
Oh, okay, 2 years. Yes, I was imagining that your parents have 10 children and you're the youngest. And she's 8 years older than you. Then that must be a big gap. Okay. We talk a little bit about part 3. So after part 2, the examiner will go on and ask you some questions in part 3, which is more difficult than part 1, but it's a discussion. Nothing is more important than family. Blood is thicker than water. It's an idiom. Gọi là cái gì nhỉ? Tiếng Việt là một giọt máu đào hơn ao nước lã đó. Spiritual support, hỗ trợ về mặt tinh thần. We only have one family in our life. Trang ơi, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Okay, is family more important than friends?
Yeah, it's absolutely. My family has because I don't have so much friends, and I only stay with my family, with my mother, brother, and grandmother, and they support me so much. Yeah.
So you think family is more important than friends?
Yeah. Family is more important than friends, but I think your parents, your parent is more important than. But I think when you grow up, your sister, your brother is not love you then in the childhood, and you will have a lot of problem with them.
So you think that when siblings grow up, they don't love you as much as childhood?
Yeah.
Why?
You know, in when we were young, we only have happy, only have toys, food. But when you grow up everything, every problem is more important than is example money. And I think in my family is not good because money is more important than, and they can hurt you because it's very terrible. So I don't think how shopping is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think you have sibling. You are the only child, right?
Yeah.
Sibling is sister and brother. You mean you're talking about cousins, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ms. Thảo.
Yes.
How about you?
And for me, I think the family is important than friends.
Yeah.
Because I think with the person who are fully family.
Fully family?
Tức là một người mà có gia đình ấy, tức là một người có đầy đủ về gia đình ấy, thì cái về gia đình sẽ hơn người bạn. Nhưng mà mỗi một người, ví dụ như trẻ mồ côi, ý mình đang nói là ví dụ như trẻ mồ côi chẳng hạn.
Someone who has a proper family.
Yes, yeah, the proper family. Thì I think that's friends is so important. But for me, the family is important than friends because they help me all problem in my life. I remember that when I were child, my parents take care me and my sibling very carefully. Take care of me and my sibling very carefully. And when I were teenagers, I have many things to choose. My father supports me very much. For example, when I received the entrance college entrance examinations, which not as expected me. I cried very much, but he talked to me. It's not at all. You can I can try better than but it is đấy chỉ là một điều không may mắn đấy. It is unluckily things for me. Unlucky for me. And I had overcome that period, and to be me today. I think so. I think family is very important.
Yes, very good answer. I think your father is a quite like a sensible man.
Yes, he is my role model in my life.
Yes. Làm người rất là tâm lý đúng không ạ?
Yes. He's the only way help me resolve problem and guide you go to directory the path.
Go to directory the path.
Tức là đi con đường đúng ấy, đi vào một con đường đúng.
Okay, go in the right track.
Yeah, right.
It means the right track. Yes, and
I really admire my father.
Yes. Okay. Question number 2. Do you think that people are spending less time with their family nowadays, especially young people? There's a phenomenon that young people are moving far away from their family to study or work in a big cities, living old parents living in the countryside. So the young generation seem to spend less time with family. Or sometimes teenagers, they rather spending time more with their social relationships like friends or girlfriend, boyfriends than spending time with parents. And in some family, they have a major generation gap, khác biệt thế hệ. That makes them really hard to tolerate each other. Để chịu đựng nhau. Tolerate, chịu đựng ạ. I write here, generation gap. So it makes it very hard for them to tolerate each other.
Wait.
What do you think about that?
Generation gap, the same meaning tolerate each other.
No, generation gap là khác biệt về thế hệ.
Tolerate each other là
chịu đựng lẫn nhau. For example, in some family, they are now living multi-generation under one roof, which can cause a lot of problems. Okay, what do you think about this? Let's start with Ms. Hong Kieu.
Why do you think people spend less time with their family?
Yeah, yes.
I think there are some reasons why the person are likely to be spend less time for their family. Firstly, almost young have to live far away from their family to study and work. So they also connect with their family via social media such as Yellow or Facebook. And they are so they are lack of community. They are lack of community
Communication.
Yeah. Between member in their family, and the first place, secondly, maybe that's it because they are generation gap between their parents and children. And children, and you know, in nowadays the adolescent have a tendency to focus on social problem and social problem. Trong khi đó, why which is different from something that their family care. For example, their family, their parents seem to care about how to learn, how to their children enroll in
professionally.
Yeah. The children is different. It's them on way. Them also really think about how to learn a lot of money to travel with friends, how to expand their knowledge.
Very good.
Like yeah.
Very good answer. Very long. Okay. Now we have a little debate. Think about it. People do not need to spend too much time with their family. Do you agree or disagree? What is your opinions about this? Now I will bring you into smaller rooms and you can discuss together. It is a free discussion, so feel free to talk.
Hello, Trang.
Hello chị.
Okay, so you just feel free to talk out loud your ideas about this. Do you think that it's a good thing, a bad thing, agree or not?
Yes.
I agree with the statement. People don't need to spend too much time to family, because I think with children, if they spend too much time to family, they
if you spend less time for family, they will be a gap between on member in your family, and I don't know why the people should spend less time for family. Yeah. How about you?
The statement is people do not need to spend too much time, tức là không cần phải dành quá nhiều thời gian cho gia đình. It means that you still spend time with family but not too much.
I think the people should spend more time for small time for family, nhiều nhất có thể là gì?
As much
as possible. Yeah, because it can improve family bonding, improve.
Hello.
Hello.
Everyone's back?
Yes, I'm coming back here.
Okay, great. It seems like it's a non-stop talking. Okay, very fruitful lessons, everyone. And there are some other questions below. Below here, you got some other question talking about neighbors. You can try to practice that by yourself at home. And there's a separate sheet for homework talking about person. So you can record that and send to me in the Google Classroom. Okay, try to speak as much as possible.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, thank you very much. And you enjoy your weekend.
Yes.
Have a nice
weekend. Nice weekend, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.